This video is gonna piss some people off. I've got the light right in my face again to make sure that everybody can clearly see that I mean what I'm saying, because to say I'm triggered would be accurate. And I don't like admitting that. I really don't, because they win when you get triggered. But fuck it. So, he's made a deal. He's offered a deal. And I told y'all that they do this, right? They offer these deals that aren't real and really only play into their ego. So his deal is that he'll leave me alone. He'll take down all of his past content about me if I'm sticking to my sober life, to being sober. He's attempting to say that his main problem with me was that I smoked marijuana in California. And if I promise to stop doing that, he'll let go. He'll go away completely and be done and he's a good guy. It was just tough love, and look what it's done, right? Look at where it's got me. I'm sober now because of his tough love. And wouldn't it be nice if his ego could be stroked like that and he could feel like that was the truth? But it's not. Okay, so the problems with this. The only drug I was on before New Year's was marijuana, and I'm taking a tolerance break, but I fully intend to reserve marijuana. I'm not giving up THC because it helps me a lot. It gives me an appetite so I can eat. It helps me rest. It helps me relax. I need a little weed in my life sometimes. But I also need a tolerance break, and I thought New Year's would be a good time to promote sobriety by doing that. There are a lot of reasons that I promote sobriety. They're the same reasons that I choose sobriety, that I choose only marijuana, that I no longer have a bottle of rum in my cabinet. I threw it out. My mom recently passed away from lifelong alcohol abuse. She started drinking when she was 13 years old because her father wanted a drinking buddy. She dropped out of school around the same time. Coincidence? Maybe. Some other things were happening at the school. But I think when you're a hard drinker at 13, schooling doesn't matter that much. And nothing else does either, because I never knew my mom not drunk. Every memory I have of my mother, she is drunk. I never had a conversation with her where I was sure she wasn't drunk. My father took his own life after years of alcohol and drug abuse and family abuse. He was not a nice man, but the drugs and alcohol are likely what caused him to not be a nice man, because drugs will do that. My older sister robbed us of all of our food just before Christmas, the first year I was married, because she was on drugs and needed food. That's just something you don't do to a family member unless you're on drugs, but because of the way we were raised, that was normal. That's addict behavior, but it's completely normal in a home of addicts. I have an aunt, my Aunt Sue, who passed away. She died drying out. Her doctor had told her that she would die if she continued drinking. So she stopped. And my grandmother stayed with her. And my grandmother watched her die, trying to stop drinking because she had done it for too long and her body was no longer able to function without it. I have another aunt, an aunt named Kathy. Not that Kathy, we have a lot of Kathys. She died in a car accident. She was drunk and she drove into a barrier right near her home. She was very close to making it home. And the police found a half-eaten raw potato in the floorboard of her crashed car. She was trying to sober herself up as she drove because she knew that she was going to crash, that she was too intoxicated for herself to drive. She died. My Aunt Martha, who recently passed away, was in a car crash that seriously derailed her life. And that crash was because of drugs, because of pills. My family and myself have been heavily affected by drug and alcohol use for generations. And I chose to break that cycle a long time ago because I did have my own problems for about 5 years. After the murder, I went down a bad road and I had problems with drugs and I had problems with alcohol. And then I realized that I didn't want to be that person because that was what my family was. That was what everybody around me was. And I didn't want to be. So I started just smoking weed. And I almost died coming off of the drugs. I refused to go to rehab. I refused to let anybody know that I had a problem. I was on opioids. And I tried detoxing on my own in my bedroom at home while my grandmother was in a hospital because she had had a heart attack. And it nearly killed me. And part of what stops me from going back to being on pills again is remembering that detox. Because I don't ever want to go through that again. And I know that if I take another morphine or if I take another pill, there's a good chance that I will want more. And there's another good chance that I'll have to go through those withdrawals again. And I don't know that I physically could at my current state where I can't even go to the doctor's office without passing out from a blood pressure drop. So there is a lot of reasons that I choose sobriety and that I promote sobriety. But be clear that not a single one of them has to do with the people that are bullying me or the people who have been harassing, lying, what is it called? It's not extortion, but what is it called when you use somebody's mental illness for your own profit? I'm having trouble with words today, which sucks. But if I could think of it, I would. But none of my sobriety, none of my progress in life is because of what you on YouTube have done to me. Some of my backsliding has been because of you. But my progress is mine. And my sobriety is mine. And any of you out there choosing sobriety need to understand that your sobriety is yours. You can say it's God, but God's not the one stopping you from putting a needle in your arm or putting a bottle to your lips. You're doing that. You are. That's your strength. And you can give it to whoever you want. A lot of people attribute it to God. A lot of people attribute it to their family. if that's what you need to keep that strength, but it's you stopping you from hurting you, because inside you know that you can do better and you want better for yourself. That's what sobriety is. This man taking that from me and trying to say, I did that, is absolute garbage. And if anybody in your life is taking it from you and telling you that they did that for you, I hope that you know that that's absolute garbage. That it's manipulation and it's gaslighting, and it happens a lot because people want to take your pride away from you when you're at your lowest, to keep you at your lowest. They want to make you feel like you only have anything because of them, and it's simply not true. I was sober before this group began attacking me, and I remained sober in spite of them. I easily could have fell into hard drugs while I was homeless, and I chose not to do that. So no, I'm not accepting your deal. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I'm living my life. And no, I haven't joined any program. I'm in the same program that I have been in since I got to California. The mental health treatment program that has helped me get my housing, that has got me medicated, that has me in therapy every week where the security screams at me. But it's the same program, and it's one that I got myself into, not them. It's one that they have actively tried to get me out of because they were contacting my therapist and my doctor and trying to cause problems for me being in the program. So all of this about him saying, oh, if you're going to be in a program, I have been in a program and you actively interfered with that program. Go fuck yourself.